Good evening and welcome to Transcontinental Times on Smart Entrepreneurship Decoded, your weekly show where we discuss entrepreneurship, smart hacks, and speak to accomplished people to get ideas from them on how to do our startups better or generally succeed in life. Tonight we have a very interesting guest. I was speaking with her before the show and telling her how difficult it was for people like me to just pass a CA. She not only did her chartered accountancy, but she went on to get a master's degree from National Law School, Bangalore, in business law. She has various accomplishments to her credit and various awards. She's an accomplished speaker, speaks at a lot of events, has deals with a lot of the government agencies, does a lot of work on the entrepreneurship side, including for women. Without further ado, please welcome our guest for tonight, Tripti Shinghal Somani. Welcome, Tripti. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Nalin. Such a great pleasure to be here with you.
I was also telling you that your list of accomplishment is so long and well deserved that I was expecting somebody closer to 60, 70 years old on the show, whereas you have been just a high achiever. Now, let's get cut straight to the chase. You describe yourself as a success coach. What does a success coach do? What role do they play?
I think for me, the reason I would say, success for people could mean happiness, could mean uh, creating an empire for themselves, becoming tycoon. So I think success for me and success coach, why I call myself a success coach is, first of all, identify what makes you successful. Sometimes people are like really struggling hard to get the basic correct. So I think that's very important in simple term. Whatever makes you feel happy. It's not at the age of 14 or 16 or 20 or maybe 60 you realize over the period of time as you evolve. I could just give a small example here. So I'm a chartered accountant, like you just shared, and I think tried hands-on company secretary. I passed intermediate of company secretary. I also wanted to become an IAS officer. I also did my CIA exams, which is certified internal auditor. I also wanted to become a CFE, so I prepared for that also. Then also did my master of business law, Nalin. But I think at the end, what matters, finally is what makes you go on. Even 24 hours, you're dreaming or thinking about the progress of a thing. And that thing brings happiness. And I think that is something called Womennovator for me. Like the project we are running for empowering women, supporting women is what brings happiness. And I think that's what success is for me.
It's interesting you say that. So, what does Womennovator do? I was having trouble pronouncing it. Help me with it, but I haven't got it right as yet. But what exactly do you do in that? Is it an accelerator for women entrepreneurs?
It's more than an accelerator. So the journey actually started with a standard concept of conducting events where women will meet mentors who are accomplished and they will get to know success story. But over the time we realized one thing, Nalin, and that was this is not this is not sufficient. If we have to ensure that our 50% audience, which is 50% population is women in India, for example, if we have to really impact our GDP growth, we need to work with women. And working means not conducting even and making them meet once in a blue moon, but to be there. So we started something called incubation. Incubation is like when a kid is born, the doctors send the baby to the incubator to test before handing over to her mother, so that everything they can show that everything is fine. You can go ahead and you can take it forward all by yourself. Similarly, women today have lot of ambition. They are full of energy. They are more energetic and full of ideas, and they want to do something in life. But when it comes to creating the right product, going to global market, going to creating distribution network, creating a big brand, somehow we are lacking something. We are not ready for it. Why there are special funds for women today? Why? Because that's not the solution. bringing fund and creating a fund is not a solution. Bringing a readiness is a solution, and that's what exactly Womennovator is doing. Today we are helping women to get their website in place, getting their social media strategy in place, getting them the right network to get their first revenue in place, getting them the grant to accelerate. So these things is what drives Womennovator mission, and we run different projects. We have almost 190 sectors we are working with, including sports. So that's I would say in brief
It's
about.
interesting. It's interesting you say that because, and you gave an example that I use myself very often. That when you put a child into an incubator, you expect the nurse and doctor to be of the highest quality because they're dealing with a fragile life. And unfortunately, a lot of the incubators that are set up and run by people who have never done business before. And I don't know why entrepreneurs, because of lack of choices, they trust their business in these incubators, and invariably it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm very glad that you're doing stuff. People like you are actually giving back by being mentors to all these people uh, at the highest level. So it's rare. People nowadays, incubators are opening up like co-working spaces. People don't know the difference between a co-working space, an incubator, and an accelerator. Every midlife burnt on corporate guy has suddenly become a mentor. There are more mentors now than there are entrepreneurs. It's surprising. No, but it's good to see that
Yeah.
you're doing stuff in that area. uh, I didn't know you had attempted so many other academic qualifications as well. It's scary to think that you actually went after all those things.
I
I
think
was just
I would tell the audience who's listening or will listen to this is that I think I'm a damaged piece in that case, because this is not what you want, to be very honest. After at the age I am right now and the work I'm doing, what makes me happy, I don't think I was really supposed to do all this. I could Today, if you tell me that, okay, Tripti, what's next? I think I'm perfect in what I'm doing, and I really am hardly, being a chartered accountant. I am running my company, which is KGS Advisor, which is into financial advisory and all. But I think this is what makes me going night and day. So yeah, so
so
I would not tell
yeah.
anyone that go for degrees. Now time has changed. Do what you love and which drives you, and you may still get bored with those things. So don't get very attached to your projects.
That's another same piece of advice. Passions change, as we grow
Yes.
older, and we start becoming passionate about different things. So don't
And
cling
so
on.
goes with your personal life, Nalin. I think a lot of cases we see people, they don't get love of their life and they're losing hope. Similarly, I think it's like business. You don't have to really give yourself up because you're just losing something you loved doing, or the person you loved so much. So I think, to all the people out there, I think whether it's love life or whether it's business, don't get very very much involved in it. You can go crazy and you can be a defective piece. But let's go on, Nalin. Yeah.
More than business, you're beginning to sound like a spiritual guru.
Thank you,
No,
but
but
yeah.
interesting. The points you make are very, very, very valid. But you being from the financial back with your financial background, running a financial advisory company, let me pick your brain on a topic that is quite pertinent to entrepreneurs. What do you think of the financial literacy requirements that entrepreneurs need to have in terms of because I find it pretty low. They go out to raise money and they don't understand how money works or how people with money think. What are the essentials you think they need to know?
I think, Nalin, first of all, if you say how important financial literacy is, it's again your choice. To be very honest, I would not want entrepreneurs who are not from financial background to really put their head in this, because it's very complicated. For example, today if somebody tells Tripti, Womennovator, you have to go viral, you have to start creating Instagram video, I get the best instructor to tell me, I will not be able to do it. Let the best person do it. Today you can outsource your work to people who are expert. And again, we are talking about the same thing again and again. What drives you? start putting your efforts as an entrepreneur. It's very important that whether it's financial literacy or whether it's social media or it's marketing, let the best person do it. I think with this I would still take your question and answer. When it comes to financial literacy, I think the pricing matters. Of course, your what kind of price you're going as compared to the competitor, the quality and pricing has to be very well matched. What taxes has to be taken care. A lot of time we see that a price in the market with not you have not taken care of the taxes. When as an entrepreneur you're bringing your your whole selling price in action. When it comes to export of your products or services, again people are facing a lot of challenge in paperwork and what the pricing should be, how the logistic cost has to be inbuilt, how to take care of the taxes. So I think these are very important point, and I don't think so even I being a chartered accountant would like to do it. I would like my team expert to do it, right? So one is knowing things that they exist and you have to take care of those, but doing it yourself is not necessary. Basic knowledge is sufficient. You should know that you need to know these things and your team has to ensure it. Thirdly, I think some legal contracts point and is very important. Sometimes a lot of contingent liability comes on the head of entrepreneur, or the kind of contract you're doing with partners. You have to make sure if you are dreaming of something, you have to ensure that you've taken care of the legal aspect, so that you're not creating a company in which the founders, co-founders and all, you're facing a problem in future on how to deal with it if
Yeah.
one of them are not working. A lot of time we've seen startup facing this issue that one of the founders not working, then they're creating a new company and all the stuff. So
Yeah.
these are
Actually,
few things which come handy.
nearly 75% of the startups have one founder or the other leaving in the first 3 years. And
Yeah.
what you spoke about, having the regulatory framework in place and having experts to manage the finance function, etc., is equally important from the start, because it's very difficult to undo and redo it later.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
So,
very true.
Tripti, I'm going to cast the question in a different direction. Recently, our market regulator SEBI has allowed startups to go public with diluted norms. Right? You don't need to be even profitable uh, to list anymore. Now, led to an interesting situation. Founders are listing companies, and right after listing, within a month or two, the example is the recent food delivery app company. Within a month or two, the founders come on television and say, "We are still figuring out a business model." Isn't that like taking people for a ride? The Going for a listing and after listing saying, "We are still figuring out a business model."
I think, Nalin, I would just simply say here that they should have hired media people to advise on what to speak. It's like, your president or to be a prime minister talking and not being prepared what to speak. Specifically, when going to IPO, you have to be very careful. I think that's the reason. I think these kind of things sometimes I feel they're naive. They just spoke about something which is true, which they have to protect themselves. It's very very strange. Nalin, I have been part of lot of ecosystems, startup ecosystem, and one thing happens when you're fundraising and all is like 50% is untrue,
True.
right? It is not like those traditional businesses जो है वो बता रहे हैं या whatever is there you're only telling that. I mean, I just have a call with an international player to partner with us for our accelerator program, and I gave a very low number. So she smiled. She said, Tripti, only this much? I said, yeah, even if I can do this much, that's big number, to be very honest. To get 50 women to start exporting in next 5 years will be my dream come true. She's like, this is if you are really telling so I said this is the case. Women today, if we talk about women specifically, I'm coming back on women again and again because I work a lot here on women thing. I think our women have, like I said, has lot of aspiration, but readiness and patience is not there. You need to improve your packaging, you need to get your pricing right, you have to match the pricing, you have to get the right product which is in demand. You have to understand the demand for 1 year, then 1 year you have to prepare to go global. But they want to do it tomorrow, and if not done, then what? So
It's a, you're being
yeah.
harsh on women. That is a common Indian trait, right? People want to do stuff, jugaad stuff, instead of working in a structured manner with proper branding, pricing, understanding the client, market, giving a need, not a want, giving what they require, not giving them what you have built. So this is a common thing. I think
Yeah,
very
I'm going hard on women for sure because I want them to be there now. I don't want Womennovator to exist after 5 years because I want that whole inequality and why Womennovator is formed be completely gone. The need is completely gone. They're strong enough to, be there. I mean, I would just quote. It's so interesting, Nalin, to know that there is only one sports and Olympics where women and men compete together, and it's horse riding, right?
okay.
So
Okay.
we need such kind of ecosystem. We need more sports like horse riding, and we need to challenge our women to be. So when a lot of women come and be happy in a group circle that my kid is going to this Ivy League, and I say please, and they expect to be really congratulated for that. I said, listen, you are raising two kids and you feel so proud. You are a woman who can raise 10. So when once you do that, I will be very happy to know that. So don't talk about two kids being raised and taking the credit and feeling good about it. You are worth more. You can do more.
Interesting. Tripti, you mentioned sports, and in your very impressive corporate bio, I saw something to do with women's cricket or a
Yeah.
league. What is it? What is that about?
It started with a small conversation with one of my mentor, Archana Gupta ji. She is a director KEI Cables. If you've heard about the brand, it's a very known brand, um, wires and cables, and they are sponsors for IPL. And we both were sitting, and she said, Tripti, how come women don't play and we don't have an IPL for women? I said, okay, fine, let's start doing it. And she said, let's, not बेटी बचाओ और बेटी पढ़ाओ ही नहीं, बेटी को खिलाओ भी. अगर उसको खेलने में मजा आता है तो उसको खिलाओ, क्यों नहीं खिला सकते? तो वहां से कन्वर्सेशन स्टार्ट होते हुए वी स्टार्टेड दैट कन्वर्सेशन इन 15 days. We did a Queen's Cricket League, first Queen's Cricket League, wherein we didn't get much of support from many leagues and all, because they didn't want unrecognized Queen's Cricket League all of a sudden for women. So we started working. Then we came to know, in 15, these 7, 8 teams, we had people coming from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and we were shocked. Both of us were shocked. It was like 3, 4 days that we continuously have competition. So we asked them, why have you come all the way from so far destination? They said, ma'am, we don't get experience, real time experience to play with other players, and so we want to play, so that before going to nationals and international matches, we have experience, we have some real time experiences, and that motivated us to go on. So we have actually done, I think, 3 series by now, and 2 during the COVID we couldn't do it, but we are doing again in September. So in Queens 11 we just wanted to do more of different sports for women.
Fantastic. It's
Yeah.
really unique. That was one thing that stood out. When you read corporate CVs, generally there are a lot of accomplishments of the people, but I try to look at the human side of it. What is the person doing other than work? And it was fascinating to see that piece that you were doing. Let's go back to entrepreneurship and a couple of questions there. A lot of entrepreneurs must be approaching you just like they approach me for funding or mentoring and things like that. Now, obviously, we can't take everybody on. So when somebody approaches you, what makes you decide that you want to speak to this person further? Not select, not invest. What is it that when people approach you, you think that, okay, which boxes do they tick before you speak to them further?
I think I have grown over the time with these experiences. I've also spent a lot of time with the ecosystem, being a mentor, being a jury in different shows and all. One thing I've realized that you need to know the patience. You have to test the patience of this, founder. You need to know whether this person is going to 10 places or one person. That is very important because your time and my time is also equally important. We get excited with the ideas, but that's not getting us money, right? So I think what I really look into a person who's coming is their patience, to be there, to be patient, be consistency. I would definitely see continuity. I would see, and that's, I think that these are the two major factor I would like to see.
So, among all the projects that you've done, and you've worked with the government, you're still working, you've worked with educational institutes, private partners, which project or which company or which person has given you the most satisfaction?
I think I'll come back on Womennovator. So I remember when we launched 100 women faces. That was we created Asia Books of Record, and then after that I said if I can do 100, all of you who are 100 winners can do 100. So we will be easily on 1,000 or 10,000. So I announced 1,000, and it took me 3 years to do 1,000, and we did concluded it by 7 days continuous event in 2021 in October. Nalin, after doing that event, I was under depression for 5 days. Why? And I was like asking myself, why am I doing all this? This is all social work. I'm a business person. I can put in such effort in my own business. Why am I not doing it? And and you see a lot of people when you are doing right thing and you've grown very fast. What happens is you see a lot of your close network people doing different, not acceptable things to around you. I think that makes you really feel bad because you're a human. I think my
True.
work has been a lot with the human and people's person. So you feel bad about it. But then a message comes. Actually, not one but two messages comes to me during these 5 days. One message says that I today can stand on the roof of my house and shout that I'm an entrepreneur. I've been awarded by Womennovator, and this female comes from a small village in Nasik, whom we got a grant of 1 lakh rupees. And that brought me happiness. That one message brought me happiness. And I was like, no, we will do 10,000 now. I think that drives one message, one person's life changing. I'm just giving one example. I would also share a few more. But the thing is, sometimes you don't even know what is happening. So, second message, somebody telling me that she was under so much depression, she would have done something, she would have given up her life, but I was there in one of the events, so she didn't. And today she has her website because of us. She's getting different business opportunity. Things have changed, which she thought never will change. So, Nanil, I think these are the things which I will remember throughout my life, and these moments are precious and drives me,
So,
keeps
you
me
know,
happy.
some of the things that you mentioned is a hot topic today. Entrepreneurs tend to underestimate the mental strength and resilience required to go through the journey of entrepreneurship. Uh, any advice to entrepreneurs on how to approach it from a mental side of it?
I think they have to spend time. I mean, a lot of people say this: meditate, concentrate. I will not say you meditate. I will not say you do something which is difficult, yoga or something. Just do something you love. Some time for yourself in the morning is very, very important. In the last 6 months, I've realized this. I was under immense. I have calls 24 hours. When you do, like, we have in our 7 days, we had Swati Piramal, we had uh, Naina Lal Kidwai ma'am, we had like Sanjeev Bikhchandani. Everyone was there supporting and contributing, our partners and everyone. So it takes a toll on you with your business going on, with a 7 years old kid, and with a lot of other things going on in your life. I think it's important to bring yourself to yourself and ask, what are you doing the whole day? So 8 minutes to 10 minutes, I'm saying 8 minutes in a day, unnoticeable changes, you have to do that. I think Ikai talks about this. This is a lovely book which you can read. If you don't want to read, it's all about bring unnoticeable changes. If you're not into fitness, I'm not into fitness. I was never into reading other than CA books. I was saying I've already done this, I will not do it more. But now I love reading. I went to US for 3 months and I used to only end up in Barnes and Noble reading books. And you come to know so much is already written. What are you looking at?
True.
They are so advanced, you have so much information, but I always thought no. So a lot of things you are wrong at. You never know your inner strength. During this COVID time, I realized that I'm very good in reading novels. I didn't know this all this while. I'm already 36. So I think
Brilliant. I
you
will
need
send
to
you I will send you my crime fiction novels which have been made into Netflix series, and you
wow.
can give me your opinion on them. But
Sure.
Tripti, you are so full of energy and driven. Uh, so, as a final question, if you cast yourself forward 5 to 10 years, what will what is it that you would like to really get done? You spoke about a few medium term goals, right? But as a person, if you look at your life, what would you really like to achieve and leave behind as a legacy?
It's a very interesting. I would not say I can tell you exact answer, but definitely I see myself in 5 years working a lot on governance, working a lot on sustainability. So I think this is something I would like to do is what I'm wearing, what I'm eating, what I'm talking is all sustainable and is all is is actually green. It's all peaceful and it's all getting whatever you're saying, you know what you're saying in simple words. Sometimes we
Tripti,
don't know what you're saying.
Dipti, thank you very much. It has been fascinating speaking with you. Your advice is really to the point, earthy, and practical. Many times we hear loud and just beautiful sounding words which entrepreneurs find difficult to relate to. But you are very practical, and your humility shines out. And the sheer amount of work you're doing, you must be an example on time management and prioritization. Thank you very much, and I wish you the very best for the future.
It was wonderful interacting, Nalin. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.